Hey everybody, welcome to Retro Station 1989. This is Commander Dan. What I'm doing today is I'm going to be doing an inking of a fan piece and doing some sketches of characters that I particularly like for an upcoming Icons release. And then I'll be inking a piece as well at the very end. Um, well, I'll be sketching it blue line and regular and then releasing it. If you don't see me on camera, it's because I wanted to unclutter the screen this time out because it's pre-recorded. So thanks for swinging by and checking it out. So if you have any questions about tools or techniques, go down below and just throw a question out there. Hey Dan, how do you do this and this in Manga Studio X, EX, that's what I'm using. And we'll go to the piece. The first piece I'm working on, which will be the title for this one, um, is not this one. That's a sneak peek for you. Let me go ahead and do something real quick. We'll make that a Photoshop document. Okay. Curious about something real quick, actually. So just a moment. Don't worry, that screen will return the correct size in just a sec. Okay. Yeah, I know, dude. All right. So. Oh, excellent. Okay. Because I don't want to preview files too quickly here. Sorry about that. I don't want to. Sorry. I don't want to give you guys a peek at stuff that I've got. Not NDAs on in particularly, but it would just ruin the surprise for some of my upcoming pieces that are for icons. So I don't want to do that. So we'll show you the actual picture. It's Darcy the Mail Girl from uh, Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In. So that's what's going on here. I'm inking now. That line needs a little bit of feathering because she's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. So I'm gonna give her a drawing. I had an awesome dream, and I'm not okay. I don't know if I want to talk about it. It's such a good dream because I hate fucking politics to begin with. Like, I hate it. I don't like politics because politics gives us words like um, politically correct. You know what I mean? Political correctness is a word. It's like, and if you don't educate yourself about what people are using words for, like George Carlin says, you're gonna get fucked your whole life. And this is gonna be some home truths today, not hard truths. I don't believe in those. Truth isn't hard. It's really easy. Okay. People trying to fuck you over are going to use language that you like to use to make you think that they're one of you. You're one of them as well. I don't want anyone telling me about like what their struggle was to make them equal to me. I want to hear if they have a solution, say the solution. We'll agree or we'll disagree, right? But my dream was sort of about politics, but it was about somebody in particular in the realm of politics here on YouTube. I mean, look, when somebody says, debate me, I want to say, no, fucking learn to fucking dress yourself. You look like a dipshit. Oh, and nice headgear, man. Like, My family is historically like a mix of everything, but the Jewish people in my family and our son on my father's side have mocked people who say crazy shit about the poor, about like widows and shit. Essentially, well, they're old school. These folks, uh, my auntie and uncles. Um, but they say things like, how dare you wear a yarmulke and then blame the poor's problems on themselves? It's like, dude, I don't know how anyone's a Republican or a Democrat these days. You're fucking crazy if you're either one. Because they ain't got your best interest at heart. Imagine right now there's a question among them, like not just one side or the other, among all of them, whether or not they should investigate what happened on the 6th when millions of people watched as 100,000 people and a bunch of them stormed the U.S. Capitol building. Should we do something? It's like that. Now I understand why that woman on 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 that movie, Mars Attacks, laughed so fucking hard when they blow up Congress. They blew up Congress. I'm like, yeah, I would also have gales of idiotic laughter in that movie situation. It's like, I get it. I get why people are frustrated with politicians and politics and shit. So get where I'm coming from. I don't like I get called like not called names like it's like I'm a fucking 4-year old, but I get like accused. I've been accused of many things in my life that are just ridiculous to be accusatory about. But like for example, you're a liberal. I'm like, okay, I guess maybe. I say leave people alone. My dad would have called that being a Republican back when I was younger. Um, I mean, I'm not an Alex P. Keaton Republican. I'm like back when the fucking Teamsters were mostly Republicans. That kind of Republican. Work if you can. And if you can't, we'll help you out. But you gotta work if you can't. Now, I guess I'm liberal in that I say you can do anything you want for work. Just get it done. Do your fucking job and do it to the best of your ability. Like this you're seeing here is actually my fucking job. I'm doing this as a kind of like in the professional illustration biz, I've seen it called this, and I agree with what it is, but it might be called something else in like an actual like school setting. But I never went to art school, so I don't know. So you want to get on my ass about not having gone to art school, that's fine. But I never saw the value in going to a school that wasn't going to prepare me for an actual career, and I never expected this to be my career. Um, but on to my dream. You don't want to hear about my opinion on being an autodidact, I'm sure. So in the dream, I was invited to this political convention instead of like the conventions I normally go to, which are filled with essentially Republicans from the old school. Every like, well, the exception of some of my friends who like from Frog God and the guys from like Green Ronin. It's like you'd think that gamers, like tabletop role players, would be a lot more liberal than they are. But then I forgot. Oh wait, war gamers. Those are those stodgy old fucking grognards who love like re fucking. I got to this one table at a convention I will not name because I love these people and I'm not gonna blow up their spot by criticizing men who probably fought in Korea, and Vietnam. So I'm not gonna fucking penalize these guys for also being either on the spectrum and enjoying historical like simulations and shit. But I got to the table and it's the battle of like the Zulus versus the fucking British colonizers. Immediately I'm like, yeah, go Zulus. Who's playing the Zulus? I'll help play the Zulus. And the guy looked at me like I was crazy, like I'd chosen to be, I don't know, the Indians in a Cowboys and Indians fight. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if it's doomed, but it's wrong for those people to have set up camp in Africa and saying it's now part of Great Britain. I mean, you think that you have to if you're an American, right? Like, hey, we created the colonies, we worked really hard for them, but it wasn't, Great Britain who did anything for, the Zulu nation. They just fucked up. They just fucked up their lands. It's like, yeah, I can't be part of that shit. Even in fiction, it seems like a real, like, a white guy could get away with it kind of thing, and we shouldn't. We shouldn't get away with being shitty. And that's another, I guess, political view. But it's like, dude, your parents taught you this shit, right? Like, unless you had dirtbag parents, and I'm a dirtbag, but I didn't have dirtbag parents. They taught me what was right. They knew what was right, you know. So there I am in the dream at this convention, this political convention, and there's Steven Crowder. And I didn't know who this guy was, right? Like, I didn't know his fucking name. I still don't know who he is. I know that he says wild shit on the internet and people got mad. I don't know if he's still on YouTube. Well, I know he's on YouTube. A friend of mine shared a video. A friend of mine, Marcus, shared a video with me. A friend of mine from childhood whose brother was shot, right? Shot dead in a drive-by while I was with him. You know, kid got killed. So we'll start there. So I know what gun violence looks like up close. I know when it's a person of color who gets shot. Um, my friend Dan was killed by white supremacists. So let me just tell you right now, when I talk about this shit, I'm not talking behind a desk wearing a fucking. He wears like a gun bra or something. It's like I don't need to be lectured about fucking race theory by fat fucking Nathan Drake. You know what I mean? Also, found out dude's a deadbeat dad, and that's charming. Like, dude, you didn't pay your child support, man. Like, I've been there, buddy. I've been there, unable to pay. Um, you know, and like I made some serious mistakes along those lines, right? But here's the deal. Here's the whole deal, the real deal, right? Mr. Steven Crowder, who had this is why I'm talking about him. He put this video on about a person, a pair of people in Atlanta who had robbed a store. Well, it looked like they were robbing a store. They shot and they critically injured a security guard. And he's asking a bunch of questions, a bunch of dummy fucking questions, like, why didn't you draw down on him? I'm like, hey there, cowboy. First of all, security guards aren't fucking cops. They're not usually allowed to wear a fucking piece on them. I was going to suggest they leave and mace them, because he can mace them, or if he tries, that's if they physically get physical. He get fired. This is how fucked up our country is. That guy could have got fired for protecting himself from these people who are like drawing down on him. They're wearing full masks and shit, gear. The people who are robbing him, or trying to get in. He's doing it. I'll say he's doing an above and beyond job. If he would just explain to them, hey, I don't have keys to certain parts of this location, I'm sure they would have left him alone. They didn't seem to be crackheads or people like on drugs. They were just, well, he turned down the audio for the confrontation, but turned it up long enough to hear the gunshot. Like, that's fucking cute. Why didn't you fucking turn up the fucking volume? Because you could clearly tell these people were two people of color, two black people. Now, I say clearly, but I could be wrong. There's a very good chance I'm mistaken, that they were, like, I don't know, they could have been Dominican, they could have been anybody who speaks the language of the street, basically. So it could have been anyone, but they weren't anyone. They were actually black people. He did this to prove that black people are quote unquote violence. He did it for the same reason fucking neo-Nazis do it and fucking Klansmen do it everywhere on the internet all day long. And again, I want to reiterate, my buddy Danny, with a very sweet and normal and beautiful guy named Lynn. He's a poet out in um, out in Nevada, and he got killed by fucking guys just like Steven Crowder. And yeah, sorry, dude, I'm gonna call you a fucking neo-Nazi because you say the same shit they do. And I don't care how long you fucking lie with dogs and how long you pretend like you don't know what the fuck you're saying. But when you say shit like, oh, check this out, check what they do, and shit like that. And then he shows a video of a person of color robbing a Walgreens. Not even, well, I guess it would be. I don't know. He's intercepted by a store policeman. There's like a security guard at the store as well. But I don't know that it's robbery, I guess, right? It's forcible robbery. Like, it's not, yeah, it's not burglary because they caught him. And it's not shoplifting because Well, anyway, it's petty theft. What he stole were a bunch of either hair care products or a bunch of shampoo. Guy clearly looked homeless. You know what I mean? So it was fucked up that this piece of shit bra wearing 40-year-old is admonishing this poor man who fucking steals what they've what by the way it's in San Francisco where petty theft of like essentials and shit, especially essentials, is overlooked. Right? They just said it's not legal. It's not illegal. You know, or honestly, it's decriminalized, which is of course different. And the distinction should be made that it was because it takes time to process these people. It costs more for them to process and arrest a poor man stealing a goddamn hamburger or whatever bag of chips or whatever the shit they stole under $1,000. It's more money on the taxpayer. It's more money on the business to have protection to keep from that shrinkage happening. Anyway, the justifications for it in San Francisco are 100% legit. Like, I get it. If you don't get it, you're a fucking idiot, right? You got to understand that not everyone's well to do, and prosecuting them for being hungry is not going to solve hunger, and it's not going to fucking make the problem go away, which is all fucking guys like Steven Crowder seem to want in life. And by the way, that's all fucking white bread liberals who fucking think that they can run a fucking, I don't know, just say no cookie drive to stop heroin. Like, bitch, this is heroin. This ain't cookies, bitch. Like, yeah, I have the willpower to stop drinking soda, and I have. I haven't had soda now in again 3 months, and I'm about to wean myself off of the tea that I drink because I'm going to get back to that full water train that I was on before because I enjoy water. I think it is good stuff, and I always feel better when I'm just drinking water. But the point is that fucking if these guys steal 100 bottles of water, do you know that every store ever retail, if you ever worked and that's the thing too. This guy Steven Crowder, I don't know if he's ever had a fucking job in his life, or he's gonna describe himself as being a working man. Eat shit. You and that fucking that dipshit over at fucking MSNBC. He's like a real liberal douche. It's just like, dude, none of you are these fucking people you portray on television. You're as fake and phony as fucking Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny, and you're just as cartoonish. But anyway, Steven Crowder puts up as evidence that black people are violent, that he puts a pair of people who nearly murdered someone up against a guy who was stealing hair care products because he's homeless. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, he stole hair color. And he lies about that too. The guy stole shampoo. He stole shit he would need, for a fucking job interview. That thing you wanted to get so fucking bad, that job you wanted to get so fucking bad, that he had to steal money to be prepared for it. He didn't steal money, he didn't rob a fucking bank. He stole shampoo, you pieces of shit. But equating murder to when a black guy steals something is how we got into all the fucking problems we have in the world right now with race, especially here in America. We have a long history of fucking not paying attention to the big picture and only looking at the small fucking picture. You know why we have to fucking be told what to do? Like, everyone's like, oh, government nanny state, blah blah blah. You know why the fucking nanny had to be called? Because you sons of bitches, you toddlers will shit the pool every day and never change your diaper. You'll never change this thing. You have to be forced to do right in this country for some fucking reason. I mean, even slavery, we had to go to war to realize, oh shit, slavery might be wrong. Do you think so? Think it might be wrong? And then you have the oppressors using the language of the oppressed to fucking delegitimize their grievances, which fucking sucks, man. It's like, oh, I can't say white lives matter. Well, you know that white lives matter because you're told every fucking day of your life. Oh, you're a white dude. You're good. You are good. You never had that fucking okay. I mentioned this to a friend because we were talking about street violence and cops killing fucking people, and he was like, I'm willing to listen, but I don't believe cops are targeting people based on race. I said, are you fucking crazy? Because we had heard a story from his cousin who is a cop who, when he described the scenario to me, I'm like, well, he did what was right, and he's not a violent guy, and he doesn't beat on fucking suspects. But what he did was he did profile a guy. turns out the guy had warrants. I'm like, yeah, but why would you even care? And warrants for what? Doesn't, I honestly don't give a shit, because a huge problem in this country is making shit your business that ain't your fucking business. You know, I'm all about what's not my business. Yeah, I know that shit. I know that shit's true. Busybody motherfuckers do not give a fuck whose fault shit is. But so anyway, Steven Crowder plays these two videos back to back, and I'll tell you the cousin story later on, but it's not that interesting. But he's a cop, and so it would be enlightening for everyone out there who backs the badge, which I would if they had stopped a while back from killing fucking people, and yeah, not just black people. Like, I love that fucking argument for my friends who are white too. Like, well, white people get it more. Then why aren't you fucking concerned? Like, aren't you white? Really? That's your fucking argument is, oh, everyone gets killed. Well, we shouldn't be, right? That's all they're fucking paid for. That's why I fucking hate cop TV shows now. Like, I used to not. I used to just go, oh, some of these procedurals are pretty good. But now I realize what the fuck they are. The show cops, the reality shows, are to show you they can come in your fucking house whenever they want and fucking do whatever they want to you. You are fucked. The state, if it wants to fuck you, is going to lube up, if you're lucky, and go to town on your butthole. Or, no, you know what? Everyone's butthole. Men, women, whoever. If they want to, they can take your kids, they can take your property. Fucking, if you knew what the government could do. Well, actually, here's a fun thing. Those dumb shits that fucking attacked the goddamn Capitol on the fucking 6th of January are all finding out just how fucked up the government is. Like, oh yeah, they're going to fuck these people to the ground. None of the people who were complicit in the activity that were telling them to come in. And they're all fucking, they're stating this in court. Hey, somebody told me it was going to be fine, that I was actually going to make it out of this shit. Anyone who thought that any of these fucking Republicans was coming to your aid, they didn't want you to get money for COVID, dude. They wanted you to fucking die and die poor. So fuck them, man. They don't want your best interest. No politician really wants that. The only politicians that doesn't even talk about it are those fucking Republicans and wolf's clothing fucking Democrats out there. We care. And then Nancy Pelosi recently has been heard to say, I don't want to do another stimulus. Like, you just want to do your fucking job and come up with a fucking plan. It's like, everyone deserves to have that money, by the way. You paid taxes last year, you deserve to have that money. And I paid my tax last year. That's why we pay taxes, so we can be fucking hooked up when shit gets fucked. Right? It's that basic. So anyway. Here we go. But anyway, the dream was I'm there at the convention. I'm sitting with a friend who was one who invited me to be on their panel, and it was like a panel about governance and why we're not getting shit done. I said simple, because they're all on the same team, all of them, everyone at the fucking building that those people got mad at, all of them are on the same team, and that team is not giving you anything back. All right, nothing, not a goddamn thing. And to my point before, guys like Steven Crowder and fucking that Ben Shabibo, Ben Shapippo, whatever his name is, the guy who can't get his wife's pussy wet, apparently, which I didn't say that, he said that. He said his wife lied to him and said women's vaginas don't get wet. Holy shit. Yeah, not for you, Ben. It must be a very localized condition. It's like, homie. Your wife was being nice. She's probably not asking any more questions, because eventually you're going to get to the one that's the truth, and you're going to be so sad. So sad your little chastity belt will pop right off. Oh no! You mean my wife is not having a full enjoyment of the voice that I have when I have sex? There's some horse in this house. Fucking jackass. Like, god damn, how did you drain all the life out of hip hop, you little vampire? Anyway, Steven Crowder is that guy who wears that fucking gun holster. Looking like a fucking dime store. Fucking, I'm a detective. What are you detecting? How fucking much scorn you're getting from every woman who looks at you? Anyone who says they like how you look is lying for the benefit of being on your side. Like, yeah, my friends tell me certain shit looked good on me when I was a kid, and I would believe them because I'm a fucking moron, right? So you're believing them right now because what? Thirsty? Like, you're hoping these hot fucking divorcee fucking MAGA moms are gonna want to suck that dick, bro. You like cosplaying fat Republican nation Nathan Drake. By the way, why do you have two fucking guns? You're gonna John Woo somebody? You ever shot fucking any guns akimbo ever in your life? Do you even know what it's called? And do you even know how to fucking load one of those guns? I imagine maybe. Like that would be my best bet. Is like, yeah, he knows what those guns are. I bet he knows what the gun is. It's probably a 9. You know, I imagine Glock because he heard the word Glock. It's like you can look at these fuckers and my point earlier was that you look at these fuckers and see right that they've never had a real fucking job in their life. They're about to fucking school you, right, on what's proper to do in your life. They're gonna complain about culture shit, bitch. When did you ever care about culture in your life before now? You just knew it would rile up old people who'd happily subscribe to your dumb fucking channel and watch your dumb cosplaying ass sit there and bark at people about their fucking morality when I know your hands are smoother than a baby's fart, you fuck. Like, dude, sorry, I've actually had jobs, which is really important to everyone here. I've had work. I worked. I worked for fucking Martin Marietta back in the 90s as a fucking as a maintenance technician, changing oil as a temp job, and I quit that job as soon as my back went out twice. Oh, and what the answer was from both the fucking temp agency and that place. Oh, that happens. I'm like, not to fucking me. I'm leaving. So I've had work that literally nearly backbreaking work. All right. So that's the first thing. So I'm on your side if you have a real fucking job. Throw your hands up, drink a beer, pop a cold one for the sake of being badass. You're what makes this country great. Not fucking billionaires, not fucking millionaires, and certainly not fucking fat ass Nathan Drake. It's like in the dream anyway. I meet this guy face to face. I'm like, oh shit, and he's just sitting there quietly eating his fucking dinner. Steak, by the way. We're in a steakhouse. I don't know. It seemed appropriate. I guess my brain was like, yeah, this dumb fucker would eat steak while people are fucking sitting with COVID. He's probably giggling about how he's not wearing a mask and he's open carrying, so he's disrupting the flow, bro, or whatever he fucking thinks he's doing. And I go up and I go, hey, Steven Crowder, right? He's like, yeah, man. And I'm like, yeah, big fan of your show, dude. I love your show. You're the one who cosplays Nathan Drake, right? And he goes, no, that's not what I do. I'm like, why are you 40 and still believing the dumb shit you believe? He's like, oh, well, I'm like, I know you don't have your little sign up, debate me. Like, this ain't a fucking Reddit thread. This is real life. I don't want to debate you because it doesn't matter what I say to you. You won't get it anyway. Like, you'll never get it because I can clearly see that your dumbass does not give a fuck about debate, right? You want to make it seem like you're smart. I know what you're doing because I actually am smart. And I would occasionally do this to amuse myself. I would find out how dumb people are, right? Like, how dumb is this fucking person that I'm going to talk to? I'm always curious. And then I looked at you. I'm like, wow, how dumb is this person? Oh shit, oh, look at him. He literally put a fucking sign up, debate me. How fucking thirsty for self fucking actualization are you, man? Anyway, I didn't come here to insult you. I apologize. That was a little like cheap, to say like, why are you 40? I'm in my 40s. I don't have a fucking problem with that. But it's clear you do. Like, you're trying to put a youthful fucking look on what's clearly a divorced dad fucking mentality and a fucking dipshit fucking like way of being. It's like, oh, dude, come on, man. It's not a good look. It's a good look being reasonable. You know, like in movies where you see that guy who's acting like you. Like, fucking, here's who it is. It's that fucking dude from Big Lebowski, Walter. That's what you're like right now, sitting in a fucking steakhouse or being on fucking the internet, running a show about how much you dislike blacks. Oh no, I can't. And literally, he complains about the fact that he can't just basically use the N word. When he's describing those videos, like, can I call him a hood rat, bitch? Like, no, really, you really can't. Number one, and you know why you can't. So I don't know what authority you think you're appealing to. Like, hey, YouTube, why can't I call them a hood rat as a dog whistle for black? Because it's a very like reductive. especially in the case of the poor guy stealing fucking shampoo, just so he can fucking be normal in his life. Like he can have material, like some kind of material stake in society. It's like, fuck, man, read a goddamn book. And I'm not talking like read only Karl Marx, dirt. Fuck Marxism, fuck anarcho-communism, fuck fascism too. So it makes me an Antifa guy who doesn't believe in half of the shit the fucking people who wear masks in public and complain about shit. I never wore a mask once in my life in that public situation. I would never do that unless, with the exception, and this is a very clear exception, if I was protesting Scientology. I would, because they're very litigious. They will sue the dick off your ass and balls. So you want to just fucking stop and think before you go like up against those guys. They're crazy. Like in terms of if they feel threatened, as far as their money goes, don't threaten anyone's money. Their dinner is more important to them than your life. And Steven Crowder's dinner apparently is made on making old white people and old whoever. Like, I mean, I'm afraid his abuelita is pretty racist. But you know, they're not. Some people say like, and I'll say this: some people I've heard in my own life, firsthand experience. So not anecdotal. All you debate Tonys and debate Andys out there, not that, not anecdotal evidence, just firsthand experience I've had with folks complaining about the strides being made towards inclusionary elements in film and media. Rita Moreno said, you have to wait, slow the fuck down. Not everything happens at once. And then people are, oh my God, and so stupid. Like people get so up in arms when old people say shit that's a little insensitive. It's like, because people didn't have time to be fucking sensitive when polio was around. Shit. If you had polio or knew someone who did and would refuse a vaccine, you know what you got? A sign on your door that said quarantine. And that's it. No further help for a dummy. You don't get to fucking keep rattling on and you don't get to leave your house. They're like, nope. Better work that polio out. We have a vaccine out here if you ever want it. But meanwhile, we'll just wait until we don't hear any more fucking coughing or whatever the fuck the symptoms are of polio besides, like, we're not going to bring in iron lung. That's not for you. That's for taxpayers who want to continue, like, participating. So no, sorry. This ain't the world where you get whatever you want and don't get to fucking have the responsibility to fucking do the right goddamn thing. And yeah, by the way, taking the vaccine is the right thing. If you can. If you can't, then don't. But because of the fucking COVID, we lost parishioners at my church, and I got to hear what the fucking sound of a woman crying at her baby's funeral is like. That was wonderful. I get to hear. I now know in my head. I have the fucking sound, and this is just classic. If you ever get a chance, don't ever do this. But thanks, COVID, for letting me know what the sound of dirt hitting a baby's coffin sounds like. It's fucked up. As a dad, it fucks me up thinking about it, because all that and the people who this happened to, it didn't just happen to them, right? You dig? It didn't just happen. What happened was they decided to believe that science isn't real, like a science older than our fucking country, older than democracy, right? Isn't real anymore. Why? I don't know, because they stand some fucking idiot who fucking doesn't know what he's talking about. Fine, great, but this isn't fucking like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it to the Kane Hodder mask. I like the Kane Hodder mask. So that's Darcy the Mail Girl from last drive-in as Jason Voorhees. Did I blow up the background? I did. Doesn't matter. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna start coloring. But anyway, the whole work, like when I was talking about the guy with the shampoo, I was like, he stole from Walgreens, who literally write off as shrink more than any gang of homeless people could steal in essentials from their store. And by the way, if a gang of them came and did this, and by gang I just mean a bunch of them, a mob of people came in, and each of them stole $950 worth of stuff. Well, number one, it's been decriminalized because they don't want to waste time with these people stealing essentials. And that's what the problem was. When they actually looked at the evidence of what was going on, not just going, oh, crime is crime, but it's not. I mean, the whole fucking musical of whatchamacallit, Les Miserables is about that. You know, Javert chasing down that fucking chasing down Wolverine. He's chasing him because he stole fucking bread for his hungry family. He stole bread, and Javert even admits that it's ludicrous for him to fucking be for society to punish theft for feeding their family, right? But he still chases him because he's a fucking idiot. It's like, why? Why not just let it go? Let it go. There's, and I guess San Francisco is super liberal, great, but also gets it. It's like, yeah, why continue punishing the hungry for fucking stealing shit they need, or the poor for stealing shit they need, especially when they also, and this is the thing where they're not very fucking thoughtful or even conscientious of what they're doing. They don't just provide the shit, they had to steal it because society didn't want to believe that. Okay, that's fine. But society apparently doesn't believe in that town that poor people deserve to be taken care of, right? Like providing that as a service rather than just it's the laziest liberal fucking thing I've ever heard of. That's the part that offends me, not the part that they make it legal to fucking steal, right? Is what Crowder and his little gang of dipshits wants to fucking make it sound like. And boy, howdy, do I love bullies who hang out with a crew. It's like, yeah, get a crew of dipshits with you. One guy, though, was pretty funny. Like, he did say the guy rode his bike into the store because he's worried about it getting stolen. I'm like, well, yeah, dude. Apparently, if his bike ain't worth $1,000, he probably should bring it everywhere he goes. And yeah, and then I found myself laughing, and then on the other hand, I'm like, fuck, here I am making fun of this guy who's probably got a fucked up life. You ever lived on the street? Anyone been thrown out of your fucking house by your folks, right? When you were real young? No. I mean, I was made to find my way in the world when I was 18. My dad would not support a man in his house not working or going to school. And at that point, I was a defiant dipshit and said, no, fuck that. I'm doing what I want. I was far more interested in doing what I wanted rather than what I should. And that happens to a lot of people. It's not right to say that is a bad thing, by the way, because it happens to a lot of people. In fact, I'm sure everyone feels that way at one point or another. And so, yeah, I did a job at fucking Subway, and I've worked, is what I'm saying. So I know about shrink, which means that these decisions they made about shampoo and shit and these less than $1,000 fucking things is a good one. Their town has enough money to spare the shit that's being stolen, and their businesses are doing well enough to where that shrink can be written off as an easy write-off. And test me, motherfucker, I know what a write-off is because I have my own business and I have to write things off every year anyway. Shit that I'm allowed to, by the way. But yeah, shrink is part of their write-offs. And do you know that they kind of encourage certain shrink at certain businesses? If you work at McDonald's, you know what I'm talking about. End of night. I don't know if they still fill out a waste chart, but it's called waste. They would rather, in some instances, just throw that fucking food away and not give it to a poor person. See, we make a lot of decisions here because suffering in this country is meant to be an educator, but it's not. Sociology will tell you that. And that's another thing. These guys don't have a fucking clue. They don't read books to gain information. They read it to gain fucking debate points or talking points. It's like, motherfucker, Crowder, the only thing I do appreciate about you is that people say that you're a deadbeat dad, and I find that offensive. Not being able to pay child support is not a fucking crime. By the way, it's not a crime, but it's treated worse than a crime because you are fucked if you get behind. You'll pay interest on that loan like you owe the fucking mob money, number one. There are cases where, for example, you live in another state. You're allowed to live wherever you want in this country, I thought, right? Let's say you live in, I don't want to go too specific, but say you lived in one state where you were divorced and your ex and you have a kid, and you move to another state, well, you are still, and you moved away, for example, I don't know, because you were denied rights to visitation. Now, to get any of this rectified, if you're a guy, if you're a man, there's a lot of fucking shit. You can do a pro se, which is a a personal request to talk to the judge. Family court judges are they don't give a fuck about men. They don't. They don't give. Your position is to go to work, go to work, lazy man. I'm like, yeah, no, that too, but can I get some relief on this fucking issue where I can't see my child? No, and pay for it. So why again? I'm all about the pragmatism of what you're doing, practicality. You know, which makes me a little pragmatic about certain things. I'm also a dreamer about most things, but certain things I'm just like really pragmatic about. So in those situations, why would anyone, a man included, actually men specifically, because again, our country does a lot of weird shit when it comes to divorce. The women get the kids and the men get the fucking bill a lot of the time, and then they don't pay it, and not out of spite, but it's because have you ever seen what some men have to pay for fucking child support? It's like, okay, yeah, supporting a child is very expensive. Oh well, and again, everyone has an opinion on this. Will come back at you like they're God or they're the fucking judge, jury, and executioner for how someone else should live their fucking life, and they have never had a fucking straight up fucking job in their life, or they've never had a problem. Oh shit, you never been in trouble? You never fucked up? Or gotten behind on a bill? Get the fuck out of here. Everyone has. Everyone American has. Everyone decent has fucked up. Okay? Yes, everyone. Even Steven Crowder, even Ben Shabibo. Fuck, I bet Bernie Sanders got some fucking rats in his closet. Everyone does. You know what I mean? It's like skeletons in the closet. Who gives a fuck? That skeleton's dead. You got rats in your closet, it means that something bad happened. That's my point there. But my point here overall is just that these fucking soft ass motherfuckers online won't admit that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about ever. They won't say that I could be wrong because what old people like and what apparently conservatives that are modern conservatives, what they like is reassurance that everything's going to be okay. Let me tell you, I'm from the fucking 80s and 90s and shit won't be okay if we don't fix it, right? Whoever convinced you, by the way, that work is not worth it or work, if you didn't go to college, you don't deserve. It's like, no, dummy. College was a place of refuge for the rich during Vietnam to begin with. Most jobs didn't require a fucking college education because they either had a union where they would assist you with getting fucking taught how to do the job, or you would learn on the job, OJT, on the job training. Then trade schools started, that whole DeVry Institute shit. People were fucking attracted to those because it taught you shit like you weren't going to learn at Harvard, which is how to actually repair a car. TVs, VCRs, all the shit that needs to be maintained in this country, we used to fix it. We also used to build it. But it got too hard to pay motherfuckers to do things because in China they'll do it for $1 an hour. Well, and they won't have a choice. God, and you know that fucking Walmart wishes because they're Southern, wishes they could get that same deal back here in America, forcing people to work, for less than minimum wage. Really, when you take into consideration the low pay scale, the high amount of productivity they expect out of a worker they haven't trained, and then as soon as a worker has got tenure there long enough to have been there to know how everything works, they promote them a little bit so they won't be on the side of any worker who will fuck up their money. Like, oh no, there can't possibly be a fucking union here. You'll fuck up my money. Trust me, man. I know all the tricks. I've been watching them for years. You know what I mean? And what Democrats will do is worse than what a Republican will do in this case because Democrats will drone on and on about how they care. Well, we care. We hear you. I feel your pain. That was fucking Clinton's big fucking lie. You think him lying about having like extramarital affairs was his big fucking lie? No. Oh, and the first person who says, oh, then he killed people. It's like, okay, great. Your logical fallacy is brain damage. That's what your logical fallacy is. It's like, oh, he killed some people? Why haven't they found anything? They found everything about his extramarital affair in like minutes. That's not accurate. In fact, a very long time and wasted tons of cash, just tons of money on shit that was, by the way, none of our business. Apparently, his wife was fine with it. It's like, oh shit, I didn't know Hillary got down like that, and that means that Hillary's got some fucking shit out there, which is why she's a terrible candidate. Not because she's a lady, but because she probably has done the same shit he has. And it's fine because it's none of our fucking business. Mind your goddamn business, America. Can we, for a second? Just one. We'll try for a year. We try for a year where we just mind our own fucking business. That'd be great. Thank you. Again, we won't because we're fucking assholes. But that's what all these things boil down to. But except for everyone who commentates on the side of essentially, it's like, I don't know, Republicans, I guess, which is fucking weird. It's like, guys, you want to be the cool guy? Don't be the guy who fucking, I'm Alex P. Keaton. Blurb. It's like, no, no, you're not. You're a hateful little cunt. Most of your hateful cunts who hate people, even on your side, you hate them because you like to hear people agree with you, or you want to assuage their fear that, oh no, they're coming from a planet. Dude, if all they do is get the right to fucking vote again, like, without being harassed or fucking shot or beaten at the fucking polls by yokel ass fucking quote unquote poll watchers. Again, where the fucking, of course, it's white people because we always do the fucked up thing. It's like, yeah, white people have these guys called poll watchers. Yeah, the original poll watchers were not just white people. It was black people watching the polls to make sure black people weren't getting hurt. It's like, fuck, man. Now white people got to take that shit too and go, oh, we're being robbed. No, you're not. You're really not. The penalties for fucking voter fraud are so fucking stiff and high right now. It's 5 years minimum in a federal fucking penitentiary. You know what they do in a federal penitentiary to your butthole when they find out how soft your ass is? Because you just get thrown in. There's no country club lifestyle for a guy who committed essentially what they'll frame as treason in your fucking court case. It's like, and you'll have to plea out. So you'll plea out for way more than you ought to. Oh, you'll get 3 years in and fucking 10 years on paper. It's like, whoa, shit. It's like, what do I get if I don't plea? Oh, you'll get 10 years in prison. By the way, that never is the deal. You've got a public attorney. First of all, I can tell you that. And second, take it. Take the time in. Do not get into the system. Because if you get paper, fuck, man, you're gonna get fucked forever, always. But Dan, how do you know this? What are you, some kind of criminal? No. I have a friend who got fucked by the police, by the government, for some DMCA shit. He's been to actual prison for shit that he didn't do. That, by the way, the shit that they got caught for isn't against the law anymore because they realize that people have this happen to them all the time. How fucked up is that? It's like, what? And if he appeals for relief, the first thing they're going to see is what his offense was and go, no way. It's like, whoa, dude, what the fuck? That's fucked up. And yes, all of the fucking criminal system in our country is fucked up, but men are fucked a lot. So guys who are male rights activists, I get it. It's not always just a knee-jerk reaction to, well, women have rights, men should have rights too. It's like we're appealing from a place of assumed privilege on the part of everyone who isn't a white guy. It's like, yeah, great. There's a lot of privileges I have. But I also have a lot of responsibilities that go with those privileges. And this is as men we do. So my MRA friends who I disagree with a lot, like any kind of ism, masculinism, Western chauvinism, which is just white supremacy. All of them are supremacy of thought. That's all they want. They want real estate in your fucking head, so they can not just live there rent free. I love that one. Like, I don't think about you ever. It's like, I have dishes to do at my house that have more of my concern than you. This drawing of Darcy the Mail Girl really means way more to me than any amount of Republican ire I might draw for drawing and talking about their dumb shit. And by the way, I'll get on you liberals, you fucking busybody dumb shits. It's like, y'all want to pretend like you were, oh, we're diverse and inclusive. Yeah, then why did you fucking try and send fucking Alice Cooper to prison? Looking at you, Al Gore, and your dumb shit wife, who fucking literally had the cops like the Gestapo raid Jello Biafra's house to fucking steal tapes of his fucking artwork. It's like, bro, liberals, you have a long history of being cunts too. So stop it. All of you stop pretending like you give one half of a shit about anyone but the bottom line. It's like you don't. You do not. Anything otherwise said is a fucking lie to make both sides feel like they're the right one. Like, oh, I'm decent because I believe the guy I'm voting for believes that black people are equal. Yeah, sure, great. Is that really what you think they believe? You know, they do believe that because I remember didn't Hillary call black folks super predators? Here's the thing. She also wanted us all to forget that she said that, pretend like she didn't say shit like that. It's like you can't have it like that. You can't do it like that. You can't have it both ways, man. Like, well, actually, in this country, you absolutely can. Like, fucking people saying, "Oh, you mentioned Rush Limbaugh and that you weren't like broken up when he passed off." Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. The guy called a 12-year-old girl a dog on national radio, and everyone guffawed gales of retarded laughter. Yeah, Chelsea Clinton's a dog. Oh, I love it, dog. You Rush, you're so right. Oh, pee in my mouth, Rush. That's some gargling piss, by the way, in hell, which is where I'm sure he is. You don't say shit about fucking children. But number one, he didn't have no fucking decorum, no class, nothing. And neither of these fuckers on YouTube now begging for your fucking attention. Stop it. Any Republican or Democratic fucking candidate comes up your way to get your opinion on something, they're polling you or whatever the fuck they want to call it. They're trying to figure out how you think. Don't tell them. It won't help you in the long run. They're not going to try and fix anything. They just want to manipulate you. Not like me. I'm your friend. Commander Dan's your buddy. Yeah, and I always sell you some fucking bone broth, fucking chocolate soup or whatever. What the fuck? No, that is not my goal here to talk about politics. It's just I had that dream. I got it, and I dream of it now. Please, Steven Crowder, debate me. Don't debate one of these fucking weak ass sauce, fucking punk asses. Debate. In fact, don't even debate me. Debate Destiny or debate fucking Hasanabi. You know. And I'd love to debate Archon of Sargon of whatever the fuck C64 fucking ZX Spectrum game name he chose. Like, yeah, great. Yeah, it's called being a fucking racist, dude. Just say you're racist. I'm okay with it. By the way, I'm I'm literally fine with you being a racist. I'm not fine with you being a giant fucking vajon about it and pretending like you're a Western chauvinist. Just because you think you say it in a British accent, that I'm going to buy your fucking Brooklyn Bridge over where it's the problem is you don't like blacks or you don't like fucking especially Jewish people. They really don't like those guys. Even Ben Shapiro. You know, Ben Shapiro will say some weird shit, and I'm like, what? You out of your mind. Like he'll back Israel like on certain shit, but if they ever sided with, for example, Joe Biden, he would lose his little shit and he'd fucking go, no, they're not the real Jewish people. It's like, oh, are you kidding? He referred to fucking here's what he did. He referred to fucking Palestinians, all of them as Hamas. It's like, really? They're all Hamas. Like so everyone also, but I'm pretty sure they're not, you know. Hamas, you know, isn't everyone there, but they did vote for them. You know who gave them the vote to whether or not Hamas should be in charge in Palestine? I bet you don't, because you don't. Or and here's what's worse: I bet he does. Of course. And then I think about it for 2 seconds, and I go, "Oh, of course he does. I'm not gonna rise to that shit because it's pointless. He knows he's wrong. He knows he's fucking lying to you. Like, so why confront him on it? And then he'll go, "How dare you?" I'm not, and I don't care about that. By the way, you clutch your pearls, do it. Work for Martha Wayne, I guess, right? Don't clutch your pearls. Clutch your balls, be a man, and fucking just tell the truth. Like, hey, I'm pro-Israel. Hey, by the way, that's my opinion too, because we created Israel. It's our responsibility. And people go, "Oh, that's not technically." Yeah, okay, fucking broad strokes. We established the state of Israel and vowed to protect it. Okay, because it's our responsibility. But we did it as part of the United Nations. Okay, a lot of Arab nations don't like Jewish people, so they fucking start shit all the time, and we have to make sure the shit that they start is fucking pushed back on. Okay? So just so you know that I know my fucking history. I know my shit when it comes to this stuff. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I know of which I speak because I fucking went to school and I fucking paid attention for 2 seconds. World history would have taught all of you, first of all, about our adventurism in fucking the Middle East. And by the way, I don't care. If that makes you sad. You don't care about the. No, I honestly don't. How's that going to feed one kid in America? How will being sad about Libya and how we fucking helped Gaddafi get into power and then did nothing when he got beheaded and his head kicked on the fucking street like a soccer ball at World Cup? We didn't do anything about that. And y'all don't ever talk about that shit, you fucking Republicans. We helped him. Iran Contra was about proving that we did that shit. And that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. You know what matters? That tomorrow morning, the middle class or the upper middle class gets to eat fucking cornflakes instead of starving or having to actually work for a fucking living. So you can still, perfect example of this is when that fucking thing with GameStop happened. I was laughing my ass off. I thought it was the funniest shit that ever happened in the history of America because literally people are crying about that shit. How dare these fucking anonymous fucking day traders fucking fuck with the fucking market? What? Huh? That's what you guys only do. You only do that. What do you think the futures market is? You fucking watched Trading Places? I bet you did, and you didn't know what the fuck was going on. I understood what was going on because the fucking stupid Statler and Waldorf, or the fuck those two guys' names were, explained it. If the price of orange juice goes up, we make money. But if the price of orange juice goes down, we don't. Unless we are saying that we believe, that the price of orange juice will go down. Then if there's going to be a drought or something, we make money. So what they described was, oh, if misery happens, we make money. And in certain cases, if something good happens, like oranges have a good year, we make money. In this particular case, where we've bet that, GameStop's going to lose. And I'm so glad everyone got together, talked to each other, and said, yeah, let's buy GameStop. I don't want that store to go away. I love that American fucking elitists believe they're going to get away with this shit forever. I love that because that's what the problem was with fucking our last president. I won't talk about him because I don't have to say his fucking name ever again. But what about 2024? I don't know. Dude believes he's president now, right? He's currently the de facto uncrowned champion of being president. I don't know. He spends a lot of time around boxes. Maybe he thinks that by declaring himself the uncrowned champion, he's going to get the box fucking Joe Biden, which I wouldn't want to do because Joe Biden's kind of tough looking. And he fought Corn Pop. That was a tough dude. I don't like Joe Biden either. He was a Republican. He was a Republican. He presides over one of the most Republican Democratic parties in the history of the party. So I vote Democratic because many people in the Democratic Party, I know for a fact, have had to float a fucking electric bill. You ever had to float a bill to make sure your kids got food for the fucking week at school? I want to hear about what your opinion is on anything because you'll be more in tune with what actually is needed, and you'll probably have worked a fucking job even while you've required assistance and never took it. That's another thing I never got. So my wife got sick. I hated the idea of welfare. Like I didn't understand that. Oh shit, it's the welfare of children too. Holy fuck. It's my welfare. It's like thing, and it's also a thing I paid for already. Like, what do you think fucking FICA is? Or your Social Security benefits payments? Like you pay it. Your payroll checks. Check it out. Where's all that money go? Well, it goes to in case something bad happens to you. That's what it is. It's all it's for. In case something bad happens, there's a large slush fund for everybody. But they keep a track. But and here's the fucked up thing. They're keeping track of how much you put in to determine how much you'll get back for retirement. But what people don't know is that it doesn't matter what you put in because in perpetuity, Americans will have to put in. So on a long enough line, it's solvent forever. You understand? So the lie is, oh, Social Security isn't solvent. We need to make cutbacks in other areas to make sure that Social Security. Fuck that. No, you get this right. What? America's going to stop being America when you turn 65? New kids won't be born paying into the fucking Social Security ever again. You only talk like that if you're planning on fucking burning a place down, right? It's called a bust out if you're in the mob. They've been talking about that shit forever. In fact, didn't Ben Shapiro even say he's fond of that dipshit who said, I'd love to see Social Security so small I could drown it in a bath. You know what? I get it. You guys like murdering shit, but the fact remains, right, that people need Social Security. That's why our country's great, because we realized there was a problem back in the fucking 20s and 30s. We're like, what are we gonna do to solve this problem? And every solution required paying people money to work. They didn't like that. Paying money for people to create art. They didn't like that either. It's like, you know what the DPW was? It was the Department of Public Works. There was also an American organization that was dedicated to doing what I'm doing here, drawing Darcy the Mail Girl as Jason Voorhees. It's artwork. It doesn't matter if you like it, because by the way, that doesn't determine whether or not what I'm doing is art. It is a piece that I've created to be observed and interpreted. There is an interpretation. Uh, Friday the 13th is cool. Kane Hodder's Mask is the best one. That's about it. And I hope that Darcy and Joe Bob get a kick out of this piece. That's all this is about. But my point is that there was a Department of Public, there was an arts project that was that you could create art. A lot of our great buildings and our architecture was designed in that era. Art Deco is what it was called, but it wasn't like the part of our nation where people know a lot about this thing, and they don't teach it in fucking high school. Like I was shocked to find out that when I mentioned the Department of Public Works, which is who my grandfather worked for, right after the Great Depression, people looked at me like I was an alien, or that I was talking about another country. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, you don't know about the DPW? It's like Dallas Fort Worth. Oh my god, DPW, you dumb shit. Fucking yokalism has really ruined our country. And proud yokalism. Oh my god, I'm proud to be dumb. No, you're not. You're a very small person who really wants to grasp onto that. Like, yeah, I'm a dipshit. So what? Derp. It's like, because yeah, it's easier than actually learning something or feeling dumb. And by the way, that's another problem that I hate about liberals. They want to be smart, not and right, and not helpful. It's not helpful. Making somebody who isn't up to speed feel dumb makes them alienated and fucking worse off. It doesn't solve any of their problems. So you'll be seen as a smartass fucking dipshit to the rubes who will believe that whoever the president is selling them snake oil, like the problem is all the non-white people who come here illegally. Really? So, but what about all the white people coming here illegally? Do you not think that there are any of those ever? What are you, crazy? It's like, yeah, Canadians come here all the time illegally and stay longer than their visas. In fact, people performed 9/11, performed it like it was a fucking magic trick. Well, it wasn't. But people who perpetrated 9/11 were all here on student visas that they let expire. Well, that justifies us telling those people from Arab countries. It's like, no, they're Saudi Arabians. They were not fucking Pakistani high school students who had been and that's the thing. The reason why, and this is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, but the security people have kind of a point, but it's the reason why it's fucked up is that we radicalize them. We bomb a fucking school building, not necessarily a school. It's probably got fucking it's probably all ed up with the fucking terrorist guys planning shit, getting ready to fucking strike at targets. By the way, not in the U.S. It's costly now. Like the fact that I say we, it wasn't we, but our president prior to the last one fucking shot one of the greatest criminals of all time, put one in his, what was it that Bruce Willis says in Death Proof, in a Planet Terror, put one in his heart and one in his computer. Yeah, we shot his personality out of the back of his head, and brains and blood went all over his fucking stack of pornos for killing 3,000 Americans. If the Wuhan laboratory theory is correct, then China killed 500,000 people, and they're laughing about it because they got away with it because our last president was a feckless piece of shit, cowardly. He's a cowardly dog. He was also very, very funny. He's very charismatic. I won't lie about that. If I were voting for a team, like I thought of if I thought of governance as a team sport, I certainly would have wanted to have that guy as my candidate because yokels would love him. And I call them yokels because we have yokelism is like an American trait. It's the thing that causes Americans to hate France and well, just France basically. France, and I would say to a lesser extent, to, like fucking Quebec. Like anything that sneers at American, like anything, is sneering at our yokelism. It's not sneering at you, you self-centered pricks. It's sneering at the fact that you are acting like a goddamn yokel, a peasant. And but Europe's always thought of us as either the little brother or peasants or hot-headed or fucking not worth their time to consider. And yeah, that's not true. They should probably really consider what we do because we are crazy and we have all the military. We spend more on our military than what our closest 7 fucking people, our closest 7 allies don't spend as much on a fraction of our military. Like they don't have a military near as big as us. No one does. You can't beat us. I know this is going to look weird for a second. I apologize. But I just realized Darcy has to have this in her. That line needs to be removed, and I have to add more of that strap. But I'm sure you get that. Oh, that's fine. We'll just do this real quick. I'm going to combine all the color layers so that I can continue doing this. But the important part of all that was that I have no time for basically any politicians. Like I don't like them, but the people who vote for people, I have time for other Americans. Someone told me you should run for office. I'm like, no, I can't. I can't. There's a couple things preventing me from doing so. It's one of those things is helping a friend out is politically unadvantageous for anyone. Like my personal situation where I'm helping a friend who got really fucked. Yeah, it would be what we call a bad look if they start digging around in my past and shit. You know, like, oh, you did this and you did that. So I don't have a record or anything, but helping this guy out, nope. The family vote would not be mine or anything like that. But that's okay. I don't want to fucking be in politics because there's a very lazy part of me and a very angry part of me is that, oh, in school, it was great. I was a smart kid and I was in fucking honors classes and shit. We didn't do anything for me. None of that shit did. None of it. Wasn't worth it? Sure. I met really cool people that I admire and love to this day. Beyond that, no. It wasn't worth it. None of the accolades, none of the extracurricular shit that people do to fucking get into college. I'm like, good God, go to a state college. You're not going to go to Harvard. Admissions there for non-fucking legacies is nearly impossible now. Those spaces are reserved for not you. You understand? It's like, but white people can't get that shit into their head. Poor white people, especially. Middle class white people are the worst. They don't get that rich people hate them. Like, they hate you. Yokelism, it exists in this country too, where they believe that you're a fucking yokel and you don't just, they literally have dead peasants clauses at your job. Look that shit up once. You make yourself nice and happy about where you live and just how much fucking people who convince you that black people are the problem. Like, yeah, check them out. Check out that dead peasants clause. It's really good. When I heard about that shit, now, frankly, I heard about it from a fucking Michael Moore movie. That guy, Jesus Christ, so manipulative. But I mean, he manipulated me to find out more about these things. And when I did, I was fucking pissed. Who wouldn't be? Yeah, your bosses have something called a dead peasants clause. If you ever die, right, on the job or whatever, I imagine that the number of dead peasants clauses at fucking Amazon have gone up because of that one fucking dude who died on the job, and they made people continue working their shift to make productivity stay at a proper number. It's like your efficiencies don't matter. There's a dead man here, right? And then they lied about it later, like, oh, we let people leave if they wanted to. It's like, no, you didn't. No, you did not. Anyone who's had a job would know that's a lie. That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. These guys will fucking side with Amazon if it makes liberals sad. They'll side with whoever because that's how cowardly cunt bullies do. But I'm not fucking cowed by a bully ever. So yeah, bring it on, buddy. Why are you 40? Why do you wear two guns? Where do you live that you need two guns? Beirut? You're at fucking home podcasting about bullshit. I mean, you are a racist, so I imagine if someone saw you out and they were like strapped and they were part of that life, the real fucking street life, they might take advantage of the situation. So you might want to fucking do that, especially if you plan on being that kind of an asshole who is real racist all the time. Yeah, maybe I would protect myself in that way. But I wouldn't do it with two Glocks. I wouldn't need two of any of those guns because I know how to fire a firearm. I'm trained in how to fire a firearm. I don't have a license to carry because I don't need one. I live in fucking Mayberry. Okay, I live in one of the world's safest towns. So I measure the fucking need for a gun versus whether or not I would actually need a gun and not just want a gun. It's like these fucking assholes always talk about like responsibility and blah blah blah. I'm like, just frame the conversation in that way, and we will have reform in guns. Like I just want everybody to be responsible with their firearms, and like you imagine that it's enough, but it's not. It's clearly not enough because if it fucking was, we wouldn't have problems right now with people getting shot constantly. And then someone will go, "What about Chicago?" And it's just another like, what about the place where Barack Obama's from? He's so good, but his town has so much crime. Like, why the fuck do you care about someone else's town having any crime? You fucking care that much if they're Batman? Fucking go fix it. Come on. Y'all want to fucking open carry? Go open carry in fucking Southside Chicago. I fucking dare you. I double dog dare you. You know why? Because they'll shoot you in a place where it will hurt forever. You fucking you idiot yokel. Like right there, yokelism. It's like, what about Barack Obama's hometown? It doesn't fucking matter. That's his hometown. You know why it doesn't matter? That's his hometown because that guy hasn't lived there for a decade. He lives there now, but at the time of people making these arguments, like, oh well, Obama's bad on crime because there's guns in Chicago. There's guns in every fucking town. But you want to know why there's guns in Chicago? It's really simple. Because the racists and a lot of the shit is about race. I apologize. Let me just wake you up to this. And it's not like you're a racist if you believe that guns ought to be legal and we should mind our own business about guns. Because I kind of already said that. I want everyone to mind their own fucking business. If you think you need a gun, you should have one. The problem is that most people don't have the faculty to make that fucking actual decision rationally because we've been bombarded with how our neighbors are dangerous and the people of this country are dangerous. You know why they do that? It's so we'll never just fucking all look around and go, you know what? Who's been fucking us the whole time? Why? We're getting fucked, but by who? Who is really fucking us? Is it the random crime criminal guys? Like the people that these folks who would love for you to continuously blame for everything, like oh, poverty's the fault of the poor? How? You ever lost a job? Like, have you ever been fired? Like, I was very recently. Well, not for cause or anything. I was laid off. You ever been laid off? Yeah, that feel fucking great. Were you able to get right back on the horse, or were there no jobs available? And by the way, no jobs of your stature. By the way, stature is a real thing. Like, I will never work a McDonald's yokel job again. Oh, you think work is hard? I know work is hard. I don't want to work that job again. Well, no, why? Because I worked that job already. I've earned my way out of it by having done it and not liking it. Okay? Having it that be anyone's only fucking opportunity to get ahead is horseshit. So, I'm no fake populist over here blaming fucking all of our problems on somebody down the fucking ladder. What that makes no fucking sense. Nobody on the ladder below me has ever tried to drag me down. In fact, anyone below the ladder, and I'm talking about everyone here. This is the part that isn't a race problem, is that every situation I've been in where there has been like a melting pot of people, everyone's gotten along, if especially if they're poor. And how fucked up is that? You know, poor whites and black folks have a lot in common. They have more in common than they probably guess. And white people just want to blame somebody because we've been lied to a lot about our status and about who we actually are. You know, like you've been told that if you're a white person, you've been told that by a lot of like authoritative sounding dipshits like that Ben Shapiro, uh, you know, old dry gulch wife Ben Shapiro. How dare you talk about my wife? Yeah, because fuck you, man. You fucking talk about people all the time. You're you're a thin-skinned dipshit bully. You fucking low-browed dung heap. I went to Harvard and I can play the violin. I can't do I say make claim to either of those things, but I bet I can make your wife's pussy wet. How's that sound? Oh shit, my wife's a doctor. Yeah, and so a doctor told you that vaginas don't get wet. All right, dude. Um, I'd like to introduce you to every porn ever. Why don't you go watch a couple of them, Ben? I would never. Yeah, you pretend like you would never. I'm sure fucking Ted Cruz would pretend like he never, or fucking that'd be like if Bill Clinton said he never did. Like, guys, quit fucking lying. Jesus, what baby shit is lying? It's such fucking low class, low calorie fucking life. Like, ugh, really lying, bro? I inked into my arm one thing. I only have one tattoo. I was deciding to get a second, like what I would get if I did. I really like Batman, but a fucking grown ass man with a Batman tattoo comes off as being a little fucking facile, you know. So I'm like, nah, not really, not really feeling that, you know. Batman was something from my childhood, and it's something I love still today. Don't get me wrong; it's an entertainment and a hobby, and it's part of my career actually. But here's the deal: I don't need to have Batman symbol on my arm to make me feel like I understand what justice is, you know. I am vengeance. I am the night. I believe more in justice than vengeance because you'll actually get actual fucking sleep at night if you're doling out justice and not vengeance. But Batman's such a night owl. My point overall here is that I have a tattoo on my arm that says truth. That's all it says. It's a kanji. Well, it's a thing. Kanji doesn't really have a symbol for truth. What it has a symbol for is not lying, the opposite of lying. Saw somebody online with that shit who was lying all the time, constantly. I'm like, you did that, by the way, and I know why you did that, troll. You did it so people would comment on that instead of ever attacking any of your arguments. And you know what? Proof of this shit? Go under my Twitter at DipSwitchDan and just look at the fucking tweets I made about fucking Zack Snyder's bullshit superhero movies. I'm a comic books fan, and he fucked up Superman, and that's it. And his writing is terrible. His movies are okay. I enjoy them. That's another thing. I don't think anybody notices that, but I do enjoy his movies. The enjoyment I get out of them is basic. It's like, yeah, the big, dumb, violent, fun, like idiotic films, but they are stupid, you know, and some of them are a real fucking slog to get through because the dude doesn't know how to write superheroes. He has no idea what super or hero means. Hero does not mean killing everyone that you don't like. That's what a 4-year old thinks, or a 13-year old. Which, by the way, holy shit, the comments. It's like I was sure I was gonna get brigaded by a bunch of fucking stands, but I told them immediately. I was like, "Hey, you fuck around too much here. I'm gonna just fucking mute you." And I don't block people. I mute them. Like if you want to at me, sure, go ahead. We'll have a private conversation about how you're a fucking idiot. But nah, I'm not gonna fucking play a dumb fucking game of, hey, hey, look at me, pay attention. I'm like, no, ask your mommy and daddy for attention. That ain't coming from me. You're not gonna get on me about your fucking what you deserve as far as your attention is paid. You babies. You want to impress Professor Dan by whining ever. Okay? But my point was is that these people were coming at me about how I don't like, you know, fucking the Zack Snyder movies. And they're so crazy, these fucking people. So nuts about their point of view that they just troll you was the point. Like they don't you know, they don't troll. They don't have an argument. It's like this one guy was talking about like how, and the subject of Zack Snyder came up when he yesterday, a fucking idiot, the fucking dude like puts up that they're talking about, does Batman have oral sex with Catwoman? Um, a funny conversation. If you're a fan of Kevin Smith, is the type shit Kevin Smith would have loved. Hold on, I'm gonna watch something real quick. Oh, I better not. Okay, it didn't pop up. I'm gonna turn off the sound. She lights these guys up. I just want to see what the thing she gives them, what color they are, because I'm gonna use that color as oh, they're black. Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna do her hair band in black, and it's gonna be the dead band that she makes the guys. That lady makes the guys wear when they're playing paintball. So we'll make it just dark gray. So anyway, point was they're not trying to argue with you; they're trying to troll. And fucking Zack Snyder posted a picture of Batman eating out Catwoman, an illustration, not a photo. And it's blurred out and everything, but it's not it's not age gated, right? So it's not like fucking restricted from view. If, for example, somebody's kid were to see it, and I made this argument because I thought it was hilarious to do so, and I still think it is. I don't think the guy got it, and I was like, I don't care that it's a kid might see it, but I was like, I just knew that people would react to, I'm a dad, and da 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 da. Like my fucking opinion would be any more valid than anyone else's opinion. However, I did say it wasn't a fucking good look for the guy who is making Superman movies to be showing an illustration of fucking Batman eating out Catwoman, which is property of fucking Warner Brothers, and and kids might see that shit. You know, the PG crowd that his films fucking gravitate to. I have a very similar sense of humor to the type of sense of humor he has. So, be that as it may, my point here was to draw out these fucking dumb shit fans. So, I guess trolling is the word I would use. Um, but I knew they would react because anytime you talk about fucking those brain farts of a movie, all of his fans will come and point out. And the guy thought he was being clever by, oh, I'm going to retweet this. I'm like, everyone who comments on this after that retweet, I'm just going to mute them. I'm not going to block them. They're probably pretty decent people overall because they like superhero movies. So we have that in common. But we disagree on this one. But I just know that you did that so that I would be quote unquote ratioed or brigaded. Like I'm not going to be brigaded over this because they're gonna see what I'm arguing about and agree with me. And if they don't, it's fine because a lot of other people agree with me. The ones who don't like Zack Snyder, for example. But I just said, do you think it's appropriate that he's essentially sharing fucking porno with toddlers? That is the troll's key, is boiling a fucking argument down to one sentence that sounds awful. So they did to James Gunn, tried to get him fired so that he could make more excellent fucking Guardians of the Galaxy movies, so that people would have to suffer through the fucking bullshit, weak ass, fucking spiteful, dumb Superman movies, or well, stupid man movies I call them because they're stupid, and so is fucking the dude who made them. And it's like he's basically saying, "Oh right, you have a kid," blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah, I have a kid. I have a son, but I don't have a child anymore. He's like 24, I think now. We had what 97 to 21, so he's 97 to 2000. 3 days 24. So no, I don't have a child, but I have a very awesome grown man son. Okay, my grown son is awesome as shit. He's fucking great, um, and very proud of my son. Part of a dead case. That's from Heather's. David, it was not about you, but also ask your mom about that movie because that movie's great. Um, or you can just watch my staff picks here on Retro Station 1989. That's a cheap plug, but I'm cheap and I plug things. But anyway, I was just like, boiling it down to an awful thing about Zack Snyder was like, yeah, well, he's basically sharing porno with kids. I hope Warner Brothers doesn't see this and cancel it because cancel culture was a real problem. And I added Warner Brothers at Warner Brothers Pictures. Oh my god, all of them come out and are fucking they're freaking out when they're trying to reverse like, yeah, you can add more, you can tag Warner Brothers all you want and all that, and it doesn't matter because they don't care about what he does anyway. I'm like, okay, good. Yeah, no, I was never fucking 12. I never had 12-year-old friends who would say the same. Yeah, tell my parents they don't care what I do. It's like, no, they do. Well, I gotta go. It's like, yeah, okay, go. All right. So here's a little advice for all the people out there who may have a bully in their life. Bullies suck, and it's very hard to be brave when you believe that no one gives a shit about whether or not you protect yourself. In some cases, it's true, but you might be an asshole then. If no one's going to stand by your side when you stand up to this bully, you might be an asshole. Figure out what's wrong with you. It doesn't get better if you're an asshole. I can't help you with that. Most of you aren't, though. So here's the deal. You're taught from a very young age one thing: don't rat, don't tattle. You know what parents are telling you when they say don't tattle? Don't tell me about shit I don't care about. Oh, Molly said the word fart. No one gives a fuck. All right? Go home with that business. No one cares. Not even the most staunch fucking Republican, so called Christian Baptist minister would give a fuck that Molly said the word fart. Okay? And if they pretend to, they're pretending. They don't really care. None of them do. Your parents don't care that your sister said fart. No one does. And stop trying to get people in trouble for shit that doesn't matter. Because there's more shit out there that's harder to fucking deal with. Parents are trying to teach you that in a very easy way. It's the easy way because that's the human way to do things. What's the most convenient and quick? Teach you, oh, don't tattle on people, right? But don't take that shit into situations like bullying because a bully, it's like two things. Number one, they don't believe you're better than them. They may be threatened by the fact that you are more skilled than them in something. That can set them off. Feelings of inadequacy are often common in bullies, but don't rely on the fact that they're more scared of you than you are. That's horseshit. Bullies tend not to be scared because they pick a target pretty well. If anything, they have operational awareness like a son of a bitch. Trust me, they know you. They know that if you're a target because they picked you out, bro, or sis. Mostly sisses, because fucking women get bullied so fucking much. It's nuts, dude. And so my words here are just for folks getting bullied. If you're getting bullied, here's the plan. They say that that bullies are more scared of you are of them, or they're jealous. They're not. But you want them to fix the problem. They're not scared of you, but you know who they are scared of? Their parents, or whichever parent's abusing them, or whichever parents has created this problem. Because it's the parents' problem. It's not. And this is just my own fucking bullshit philosophy. So I could be wrong, right? I'm not looking at any fucking studies right now, but in my experience, and I have firsthand experience, not anecdotal evidence. So in my experience, which it has been long, I'm nearly 50, bullies are getting fucked up at home somehow. All right. I've had sort of bullies in my life, I guess, but any bully that I've ever had, once I understood their shit and their situation, they didn't really bully me much because I'd go, yeah, man, I have a similar situation going on, if if not the same. It's like your family's fucked up and poor, or whatever. It's like, hey, man, why don't you leave me alone? Doesn't work. But you know what does work? Hey, man, I'm gonna tell your fucking folks about this shit. I bet your mom and dad would love to hear what you're doing right now. My parents don't care. That's what I'm talking about. This guy's like, Warner Brothers doesn't care. I'm like, no, they fucking do. So if you're being bullied, tell their parents immediately. Find out who their parents are. Tell the fucking principal too. Rat them the fuck out because their behavior will continue if you don't say something. This ain't prison and you ain't in the mob. Go ahead and fucking dog them out. Just go, yeah, this motherfucker's trying to kick my ass. He's threatened me and said he's going to be waiting for me after fucking school. Could you do something about this? How about fuck this guy up? How about call his parents down here? Because you know what that bully doesn't want in his life? Mommy or daddy coming from work to go down there and fucking handle their bullshit kid again. what if little Johnny Shitface says, doesn't matter what they say, they threaten you again, you go to the fucking cops. Go, look, this asshole's threatening me, live and in color. And I tried telling, and so insofar as you have actually talked to the fucking principal, talk to the principal, can we get his parents in on this? What the fuck? Hey, officer, please. I'd like to open a case and put a restraining order on him. You put a restraining order on a kid who has two working parents, that'll end that shit real quick, or threaten it. That'll end that shit real quick because that kid does not want to be expelled again, probably. And he definitely doesn't want to get in fucking any kind of trouble with his abusive, beating parents. But you want to get him in trouble with them because fuck that kid. He's a bully. He's a piece of shit. You chose a life, kid. Oh, Dan has no tolerance for bullies. Right. Exactly right. Fuck you if you think that you should give anyone tolerance who's intolerant or a fucking bully or a jackass or anyone trying to harm you in your life, and you decide that, oh, it's fucking what, fair to fucking let them walk all over you. Holy shit. That's crazy talk, right? That's like how a crazy person talks. Oh, I should respect their freedom to, no. No, 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 no. 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 The algorithm is a product. For all my friends and family who are fans of Silicon Valley, which now, because apparently Thomas Middleditch, I don't know, really fucking was an ass. Like, said some assy things to people. That's what I heard anyway. That's what was alleged, and then we never heard about it again. So either it's completely true or it's completely false. I ain't about that life, and I ain't about that drama. I still like Silicon Valley though. Show's over now, but it's really good. But anyway, my point being, yeah, if you're getting bullied, go ahead and tell their parents or threaten to, and they'll say, "My parents don't care," and then you'll tell them, "No, they really do," because what a working parent doesn't fucking want is to have to go to school and take care of their kids' bullshit. Those are fucking dirtbags, probably. That's how they raised a fucking bully. I mean, if you want to, and by the way, this is just from my observations in life. So again, take it with a grain of salt, but also, I'm gonna do a little research as a little fun little exercise. Watch this video of a kid from Australia who basically had enough of this sports fuck and his sport fuck friends fucking with him. It's because the kid's fat. All right, we'll go there first because I know that because fat triggers people, definitely triggers people. If you're fat, people will say shit and assume it's because you're lazy. This kid he's fucking 12. He's chubby on top of the fact that it's clear he has a condition. He's not lazy and eats cupcakes. He's probably fucking heavy and feeling bad about that, not understanding why, even when he tries to do right, he can't get it right. You know what I mean? So these kids are taking advantage of that fact because he's emotionally weak in those moments where he thinks it's his fault. So they're basically trying to fucking manipulate this kid into having a fucking real shit self-image, and it's just fucked up. What happened the day the day they caught on film was that Mini Sasquatch realized something when he was looking at this kid. I'm almost a foot taller than him, and I definitely outweigh him. All they ever talk about is my weight, as a matter of fact, and so I wonder what will happen if I just get so mad because he's asking for a fight. This kid, he's pushing him. Come on, fight me, and then he punches him. His friend punches the kid in the face. I'm like, kid, what are you doing? If I was your dad, I would advise you to protect yourself. I would never advise anyone to get into physical altercations to resolve these issues. Because I don't want to have a heated gamer moment right now, get banned from YouTube. Because I would never, never, never say, yeah, go fight a kid. Never do that. But I would say, put your hands up and protect your face. Stop getting hit. So would my dad. My dad would have fucking gone off on me had there been video of me getting slapped around by these little pissant pudding pop motherfuckers, which is my dad's word for these little pissant bullies. So you get bullied, tell the parents, I don't want you getting into no fights because that starts a circle of fucking. You either will have to continue fighting every day forever while you handle their bullies, and he goes, and if you don't do it in a way that they never come back, maybe they come back with a knife. I lived in pretty rough areas occasionally as a kid because my family was very poor. So, yeah, you got to be careful of that shit. So don't fight ever. It's like really not worth it. It's really not worth catching a charge or fucking accidentally really hurting a kid. Don't do it. However, on that day that they've been slapping and punching and fucking maligning this kid and fucking beating the shit out of him, he decides to powerbomb the other kid like he's fucking Kane from the fucking WWF, and it's amazing. He power bombs the kid on his neck, which I was like, damn, this is about to be a fucked up video, and it wasn't, luckily. But the bully goes down, is stunned, and the fucking kid who did the honorable thing and fucking power bomb this idiot stands there motioning for it. He's like, I'm tired of it. And I was like, that is what a bully does not want to hear. That, yeah, it doesn't matter what you do next because he's going to continue fighting all of you. And then his friend, who's a foot taller than this kid, and then I realized, oh, there's your racket. There's where the racket is. He's got the big kid's kind of the instigator because he knows that if people catch him bullying, they're going to fucking blame him for all the bad bully shit going on, you know? And so he's like, he comes up to the kid like he's going to do something. And then a girl, much taller than the tallest bully, fends him off. And I'm like, and that was my point about this is that, yeah, if people will come to your rescue, if your cause is righteous, you will have the fucking people on your side every time. That girl was watching him, but you're not supposed to fight ever, right? It's a no tolerance school that he's at. It's like, bro, then here's the deal. Don't fight. It's not worth it. It's not worth the time. So when he power slammed that kid, I could watch that video 1,000 times. I should comment on it once. It's so fucking good. It's like, yeah, yes, exactly right. Silverchair would write a song about you, bro. Like, wait till fat boy, wait till tomorrow. I think he was waiting until tomorrow. You heard that song and was like, oh, fuck this for a fucking ham sandwich. I'm not gonna get fucking mocked and slapped. Like they slapped him like, as Charlie Murphy says, even in the old days, you slap somebody, one of you has to go. They would duel on that shit. You know, people would die behind some of that shit. I'm like, yep. There's only so much mocking and humiliation a human will sustain before they shut down and self-harm or they retaliate. And I was like, you are poking the bear here, son, because that kid is huge. When you see him, it's like, it should have been obvious that he was a bully. Like when you see, oh, kid is bullied, you're like, oh, it's gonna be that big oaf there. He's gonna, like you mentally would do it. It's that same mental calculus that people did on Britain's Got Talent when that one lady who could sing really good came out and they're like, oh, here we go, big fat dummy. It's like I'm just as guilty of doing that, and I'm a big fat dummy myself. But we can like totally see our own. We're very good at that. We're very good at self-identifying ding dongs out there and fat oaks because that's why I'm proud to be since '75. I'm proud to be a fat oak. Oh, Jim Sterling. I love that video he does about whales and fucking uh, loot boxes. I've always loved his commentary on because I'm about consumers as well. That's why I don't do certain shit on my channel when I talk about video games or movies even. Like I'll tell you guys where I found a movie on staff picks, but I mean I'm not trying to make a movie rare. Like fuck man, it's like I swear to God, some channels that I really like, I think sometimes they're trying to say shit just to make their collection more valuable. Like when I watch Red Letter Media, for example, I imagine that they're like, oh, I never heard of Hard Ticket to Hawaii. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? That's a Charles Band fucking. That's a fucking Empire classic. If you go to their channel, Full Moon Pictures, over on Amazon and I think it's a free trial to try their channel out. Dude, you get Doll Man, you get all of the Trancers movies, you get Hard Ticket to Hawaii, you get fucking all of the Joe D'Amato stuff. It's like, you guys pretending to not know this shit? You got to be, right? You got to be pretending so that when people try and find the shit on VHS, which is a huge thing now, like their collection is huge. They got to be selling these fucking things, right? Like, you can't be in fucking business just by shitting in George Lucas's mouth your whole life. I mean, and you did it. You fucking won. You called him a hack. You called him a fucking toy boy. Like, I love, and the Empire Strikes Back is the worst thing since fucking buttered toast to my son. It's like, yeah, it's the most disappointing thing since my son. Okay, asshole. And but you guys realize that Disney owns Star Wars now because you fucking wanted it. You fucking wanted it. You wanted George Lucas to be punished for a movie that he made. He tried to make something happen with the prequels that he failed at. And he has a track record of not doing that, not failing. But you couldn't let it go. You're fucking dicks. It's like, oh, and then I find out, oh, you're all fucking art school dicks from Milwaukee. Well, for the most part, they're not really. This is just me lashing out about how fucked up it is that I know, number one, their influence over people watching flicks is fucked up. It's like everyone says the same shit about the prequels now, but it still made a fucking more than Titanic. Huh? How'd that happen if the movie's fucking terrible? Because being a hipster means you don't like shit that everyone likes. And that's what it is. It's a bunch of fucking people from a shit town thinking that everyone else is a yokel for liking something because it was likable. Sorry, I don't like Jar Jar Binks because I'm an adult. My son thought he was fucking hilarious. Farts are funny to little kids. Oh, wow. That's a movie for children? Well, here's murders in it. Like, fucking Luke Skywalker loses a goddamn arm to the Bigfoot. That's not true. He doesn't actually lose his arm in that movie. But he does get his fucking hand at the wrist chopped off by his dad. Holy shit. Like, what the fuck, people? Like, how the fuck are you even fucking talking about these fucking flicks disparagingly when, like, or even using, for example, describe the character of Qui-Gon Jinn. I can. He's rebellious, stoic, and what is it? I want to say disenchanted, but not. That's a D&D word. Disillusioned, which also sounds like the reverse of making an illusion spell. But no, he's disillusioned with the Jedi Order and voices his like his sadness and his fucking. He's just demoralized by the fact that the Jedi don't get it. Like, hey, mind the living force, and it's like a new thing basically to them. They're like, well, what is he talking about? We will not accept the boy. He's too young. He's too old. It's like part of me goes, yeah, but that's just part of the Jedi thing. It's like a Buddhist temple, like in Fight Club, when Tyler goes, if he's old, he's too old. If he's fat, he's too fat. That what they're trying to do is make sure that whoever's there wants to be there. But it's like also the Mensa exam. You take it not knowing whether or not you're going to be in Mensa, but you only take it if you want to be in Mensa. So the questions are designed to offend you if you're dumb. Like, and by dumb, I mean like me. I'm a fucking idiot. But I did pass the Mensa qualification exam. So they're like, we welcome you with open arms. Give us money. I'm like, oh, fuck you guys. Now I get what this is. It's an elitist club of people who will never do anything fucking outside of their own personal wants and needs. They're never going to make society a better place. It's like, yeah, Mensa, if you're so fucking great, why are there no Mensa funds for poor kids to go to fucking school? Like, why haven't you guys done a goddamn thing, really, to better the world with your so-called gigantic brains? It's like, great, I'm a dummy, but I still passed your dumb test. So what now? What do we do from here? Do we continue pretending that people's intelligence quotients matter? Because that's some fucking Nazi shit. It's like your intelligence does fluctuate over time. What in the fuck? Why is this not working? Huh? Why is this a locked layer? No, it's not locked. Here's a brush. Are you frozen, computer? Computer. It's okay. Save it as 2. How is this not? Whoa. Whoa, you tone. Oh, okay. Well, there it is, but where are my layers now? Okay, don't worry, Dan. Make your workspace back to default. Yeah, it's fine. Watch this. Boop. Screen. Change. Hey, there we go. Oh, I had selection on. Thank God. I'm losing my mind in my old age. So, yeah. But the bully thing was he tried that shit. That was a long way to get back to this fucking conversation about Zack Snyder, which I didn't really care about. I honestly was not offended and didn't really care about the children. Think of the children. I find that kind of rationale offensive. Most kids can handle it. And he even came back at me like, well, you don't know that your kid is going online and looking up porn. I'm like, no, because my kid's not a fucking dirtbag. By the way, my kid has a very healthy understanding of sex and stuff like that. We're an educated family. We're not fucking yokels, is the point. So I was like, I don't honestly care. I thought it was like cute. He's like, well, you can tag Warner Brothers all you want. They don't care. I'm like, okay, reverse psychology. I remember when I had my first fucking psych course, or even thought of it, like everyone does when they're fucking 9. You dummy. It's like, aren't you 9 when you think of, I'll be your best friend? Or, you don't want to do that. It wouldn't be good. Because at one point you saw your fucking dirtbag parents. I'm talking about this guy's dirtbag parents because it was really funny. I knew he would be offended by that. Um, Sometimes things are funny to me that ought not to be. And him getting mad, me calling his parents dirtbags, oh, I knew it would. And he was like, okay, boomer. Like, I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen X. I'm actually, I found out the other day that I'm what's called whatever. There's like a different name for it. I'm like, I don't know. I still consider myself Gen X. I have a Yo MTV Raps t-shirt. Unironically, you know. So I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm not Gen X, but I sure thought I was for a long time. At any rate, I knew it would tickle his fans. I knew it would titillate the conversation into, oh, how dare! Like, I don't give a fuck about how dare you either. That shit to me is also funny. How dare you! I would throw a pie at you if I were the fucking Stooges. I would throw a pie at you. We're like, how dareth thee? I have been offended. And then but he's arguing for the part of Zack Snyder putting that fucking porno illustration up where any kid could possibly see it. And you know who does care about that? Warner Brothers and their IP. You don't want your IP associated with porn, unless you do, unless you're porn. And by the way, they're not. They're not porn. They're very decidedly not pornography. That's why all those wonderful Zack Snyder, non-Zack Snyder cut movies are all fucking. They all have a rating because what they don't want is for fucking uh, that PG rating to go anywhere. I want to keep that PG rating. That PG rating is very important to them. Rating system is a bullshit lie, but they want to keep it that way. Make sure that all our shit's PG. And then they'll be thinking to themselves, what the fuck are you doing, Zack Snyder? Sharing a picture of Batman eating out Catwoman. What got into your fucking head? That was gonna be fine. Well, but my point was I would keep addressing the point like, hey, you still haven't explained why it's okay for him to share porn with toddlers. I'm curious why you think it's okay, especially I need that because I don't want somebody to at Warner Brothers, and I would put actually at Warner Brothers. Like I don't want anybody to at Warner Brothers and fucking, get him in trouble and cancel him because sharing porn with toddlers is fine. You just got to tell me how is it fine so I can tell everyone else that it's fine to show porn to toddlers or to young people under 20 or under 17, showing them hardcore porn. I mean, why is that okay by you? Like you're for it, so please explain your position so that I can do it later on. Because I don't want to at Warner Brothers Pictures or at Warner Brothers, and I just continuously literally added them in every tweet. It was funny. It's like, oh, you think that's gonna matter to anyone? I'm like, yes, Cartman, I know it will. I know it will matter to them if they ever saw it. I don't think they would ever see it. I honestly think that all of my social media channels have been fucking nerfed. But but anyway, probably because I'm a blowhard and kind of a nitwit. So I get it. I get it. But holy shit, that kid was like, oh, they don't care. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. You're right. You're probably right there. I believe his name was Oscar, unless he was lying about that. Which it's the internet, so it could have been a woman named Flamenco Jones. I wouldn't know because I don't know. It's not up to me to bear the truth out of fucking people's screen names. At any rate, he very much unappreciated the fucking dirtbag comment. And then he tried to focus conversation once again on me and what I think about kids. I'm like, no, nope. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is you explaining why Zack Snyder sharing porno on Twitter is a good thing. And let me guess, you can't do it because it's fucked up to do that. And that's all my friend and by the way, it was my friend Jamal who always gets shit. Dan Slott will say the same shit. Dan Slott, however, is a white fucking comics creator, and Jamal Heigl is a black comics creator. And Jamal is a friend of mine, has been a supporter and a fucking a commenter on my work, and has been very supportive, mentoring even in my fucking career. He's been a good dude, okay, a real good dude, and he always gets shit. Like Gail Simone will say something, he'll agree, and the fucking stands will come out for him. Wanna know why? Because he's a black guy. That's it. And yeah, guys, I know it sounds like fucking that typical liberal bullshit, but it's not. It's like it's something I've observed firsthand, watched it happen to him. You know what I mean? Like I've watched him get fucked over, and then it fucking yeah, it's all well and good that Gail Simone hates women in fridges, wonderful, but where the fuck are you when he starts getting brigaded by these dumb fuckers? This guy's like, well, Jamal says, why isn't Jamal here defending himself? I'm like, because Mr. Jamal doesn't do the light work. I do that light work. So let's talk about this, dummy. And then I handle them with these fucking easy debate things. Like, dude, did you even take a rhetorical, like, fucking, like, Toastmasters course? It's clear that even Ben Shapiro did that. As much of a dweeby twerp as that guy is, he definitely took a Toastmasters course because he knows basic rhetoric bullshit. But it's like, dude, just be kind to each other and stay out of each other's business. If we all did that, if we were just reasonable, things would be way better. Also, stop letting children rile you up on the internet. You know that like half of the time you're seeing fucking shit that offends you. Like I would have to imagine it's half the time because we talked about this all the time at work when I was working in tech. It's like at least half the time it's a fucking kid. Just knowing that he can make an adult get real for no. It's the prank phone calls of the modern age. It's like holy shit. I worked for IP Relay, right? It was a technology called IP Relay by Verizon. Verizon actually owns it now, or owned it. I don't know. Probably it's one of those things that's a service that's too costly. Really, in reality, it's too costly to maintain. So it changes hands all the time because people want to find a way to make money on it. You just can't. It's a service. It should be fucking regulated by the government and handled by the government so that certain aspects of it, I'm not fucking NDA anymore because it's being used by foreign criminals to steal money from yokels here in the States. Nigeria is one of the main countries. Go to the 419eater.com. I want to say they're a .com. They may be a .org or something because they're not a non-profit site. But what they do is they harass and annoy scammers and shit. One of their main scams is the Church of Bread and Wine is offering, like, I'm offering a grant. Those like I'm a Nigerian prince and I want to help you out. Well, one of the main ways everyone has a gap in their head, like, how do people fall for that shit, right? How do they fall for it? Well, the gap is how do they talk to people here in America so immediately they don't know that it's a fucking lie? Once America started outsourcing like tech support to India That's why the scammers that are coming out of Mumbai and Bangladesh and other places in India, which by the way, Indian people don't love that. They're not fond of it. Even though I believe I heard it was either Stephen Crowder or Ben Shapiro, one of those guys, saying that, oh, they love it and da 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 da, just fucking being racist dicks. It's like, no, they don't love it. In fact, it very much embarrasses their country and them. Nigeria, however, they don't care. They don't care. They're stealing from America, who is the richest nation on earth, and taking what they feel that Americans can afford, but they don't. They take way more than old people can afford, and they primarily target old people. The 419 guys, and 419 is the legal code for whatchamacallit for when people commit fraud over the phone. Anyway, IP relay is for the deaf, hard of hearing, and speech impaired. So people who don't have speech abilities will dial this number, and I will talk for them on the phone. In no way is anyone who does this job allowed to comment on the call, to interfere in the call in any way, to interpret the call, interpret what is said beyond hearing it and saying it. You hear it, you say it. You're just a piece of the wire. That's what you're trained to be. It's a very dehumanizing job, but by rights, and so that everyone who uses it, who is deaf, hard of hearing, speech impaired, knows that they're getting a guy on the phone or a girl on the phone who will do their job and has nothing like involved personally with their conversation and won't remember it after it's over. Letting it go is the hardest part of that job, and I did that job very well. However, when you get a scam caller, a fraud caller at the beginning, nothing you could do about it. And that would crush your heart to hear guys on the phone, hear people typing to you, and then hearing the hope on the phone when they are being romanced by someone, manipulated by someone to send money overseas to people who are just stealing it from them. It would hurt you. It would hurt your heart, right? And in the beginning, there was nothing you could do. While I was working there, improvements were made. The government actually stepped in because whistleblowers had come out and weren't punished and told the government, hey, you know how much is getting stolen from like people? Government didn't give a shit. A certain whistleblower said, hey, do you know how much tax revenue is being stolen by this country out there that's using a federally funded service? Because at the time, that's what it was. It's federally funded, and it was provided to legit people and to everyone because the Americans with Disabilities Act meant that everyone could use this service, no matter what. Howard Stern did a couple bits where these kids were really fucking around with it. And by the way, sometimes it's funny, but the service was eventually used to drive a kid to fucking kill themselves, which ain't funny. It's like swatting. It's like swatting's never been funny. All right, never. It's been vindictive and shitty. However, um, it happens, right? And it's an escalation of what essentially was prank phone calling. I know a lot about that subject, and I'll draw something and tell you one day. So there we go. There's Darcy. Look at that. How are you just fucking good at this shit? What the fuck? How are you so good at things, Dan? I don't know, Dan. I don't know. Is it talent? You know what? No, not really. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Maybe a little bit. It's probably more stick to itiveness than it is talent because I have willed myself to learn how to draw shit. Okay, so here we are. It's Darcy from the drive-in last drive-in show. This bag is a sleeping bag. I hope that's clear. It's probably not because I fucked up and made that a seam instead of what it ought to be. Let's fix that. Just a happy little mistake. It's a happy accident. Let's just fucking here we go. I need to put a zipper. It's dead, so it's a zipper. I didn't even draw it right because I'm a dumb shit. I'll wait till you guys see the retro station soon. I have a brand new green screen. So when I game, I can actually be in the crafting of the mine. Like I'm very involved in Minecraft now. No, I'm not. But I created one because my friend suggested they would like to see me online playing playing Minecraft. I was like, I'm sure you would. I've never played that game before. It's like people will draw zippers and stuff, and they draw them just a square, like, I don't know, hash lines across, but they're not shaped like that, are they? No, they're shaped like this. It's weird kind of puzzle one, like it's like a tri-corner puzzle piece. You know what I mean? Kind of shaped like that. And it's not literally going to matter because when I go like this, no one will have it. Oh, look at that. It looks great. But up close, it looks like a bunch of dog shit. Um, that's the other secret. Art, folks. This is about art just a little bit. Uh, oh, that's my boy. That's my boy. He is sad. Him's a sad because his mama ain't awake and has not let him out yet. But when you're doing artwork like this, remember that it's going to shrink, right? It's going to be shrunken down. What the fuck? Am I using a watery thing? Let's reduce the opacity. Oh no! We need a new layer. Drop the opacity. And pass the old opacity El Paso. Then I will add shadows to follow along with this shadow. So there's some lesser shadows there. There's a big shadow here, which is weird because that contour would suggest it's a highlight instead of a shadow. I did it randomly, so I'm just gonna do that. There would definitely be a shadow on top of one side. There we go. And again, it's not going to matter because when I go fit to screen, look at that. It kind of looks like that. And then even more, we can fix it because I'm going to have to, which is actually really easy. You just go there and you go. I'm just going to do the tops here. My God, he whines like he's being harmed. He's like, dude, you're not being harmed. Shut up. There. So now when we look at it again, boom. And my point was that when you shrink when you do something for print, you do it bigger, and then it shrinks down and it removes a lot of the fucking errors you would see up close. I'm ready and willing to let this go. So I have saved it. I'll save it again because I made some changes. Then I'm going to do this layer, merge layers. Okay. Oh, edit, undo. What I'm going to do is merge all the color layers down. But I'm going to keep the ink layer separate so that if I do this, I can always recolor it any color I want. So yeah, let's go ahead and kill any stray color lines that are out there. Wipe them out. Wipe them out. All of them. You know, I'm actually going to do a series too, I think. Or just a video, maybe just one video of me doing what I do elsewhere on the internet. On Quora, I'm asked a lot of questions about Star Wars, and I think my answers are kind of funny. So I think I'll create a video doing that. I noticed there was a lot of people doing that kind of a video. Hopefully that'll help me get more subscribers. It'd be nice. So now we're good there. And now I feel like I can edit and then layer, merge layers. All right, so here's the foreground, right? So also when I ink, I don't use a full black. I use a lighter than black. I learned that from a fellow who does illustration for comics and stuff. He doesn't use ebony or full black because a brush, which is what I use an ensabler brush, or which would be a cartooning sable brush for my art. So all my illustrations are based upon print. Will be going to print, and if you use black as your base, everything looks really flat. So I don't use black really anymore because that was good advice. Right, so there that is. You're gonna get to see some cool stuff here, folks. So foreground, and then I'm going to create a background. Okay, that won't be the background though. All right, so I'm looking at background paintings from Scooby-Doo. I know it's very childish, but oh, that's so good. Heritage auctions. I love this stuff. Like Heritage auctions has some of the best shit for sale. Oh god damn it, Heritage auctions. Sign in and become part of our. No, you know what? Fuck you. I will not. How's that sound? I refuse. I refuse to be made to have to fucking purchase from you or you know like oh my god, all these auction sites like no, you can't look at the full size one. Blee blee blah blee blue. What if I open the image in a new tab and then I download it? Oh, it's not gonna let me? Oh. Well watch this. Called the fucking Clippers. Hello Clippers, what are you doing? Where are you, Clippers? Oh my god. Oh my god. The snipping tool here. Watch this. Oh, look at this. Oh my god. Snipping tool. What the fuck? Where are you? That'll work. In fact, I'll just steal that. This is just a fan image anyway. So there, I'm stealing from you, Clipper imaged. No, I'm not. Maybe I'm thieving it. I just wanted it to look at so I could see what painter techniques they used for shit because I'm trying to learn how to paint and I need reference. I need to figure out what is going on there because I'm not at school. Are you kidding me? I can't afford a school. But if I did this, boom. I mean, that is pretty great, Dan. All right. Okay, so this thing, I like that, so I'm going to go change it to make the trees bending a different way. Redo, flatten it. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to paint over it. So I like the bending of the trees, but this is Camp Crystal Lake, so I just wanted to see what they did with the overall color. So it's summertime always when he comes back and does his dirty business on everyone's face. Actually, you know what? We'll go here. I'm going to use oil paint, baby. Okay, take your time. There we go. Walter Wet Chaotic. That sounds like the one. Oh shit. Painting on that layer. Let's go and lock that down. So don't make that dumb mistake again. So what I'm doing here is, well, you'll see. We're doing happy trees. Happy trees. It's literally like I gotta say, Friendon, your fucking brushes are amazing. That's it. No commentary or disparaging remarks. Because why would I say that? About a set of brushes I find so useful, and they're just so good. Um, but these brushes are just fantastic. So we'll go Walter Wet and Messy. We'll drop I'm gonna raise the saturation and drop the brightness, just so I can add some middle ground area stuff. There's a lot of cheats too, and well, I don't know about cheating. Um, that saturation is too much. It's got to be more dark than saturated. That'll work. Okay. I'm doing that wrong. All right. because the density is in the middle of foliage. All right, come on. It may go to the top, but it's probably not going to go to the edge. Okay, so this brush is a little harder edged. So I'm going to go back to the Walter Wet Fuzzy, get a little bigger, just blend it in a little. So when you're doing trees, it's a multi-layered technique. And when I was saying Bob Ross, I wasn't like just joking around. Bob Ross can teach you a lot about how to paint foliage and stuff. So there's dark, and then we go back to this color. Oh shit! An even bigger brush, and just tap it, tap, tap, just to make it blend without having to smear it. So this is the background of trees, right? Creating a canopy, and then we take the brown, and I'm going to edge it towards the purpley brown here. We go to that. We go back over to watercolors. I like, see, I like watery for some of the stuff, but you have to be real careful about how you paint with the watery brush. So we go up a level, and we'll go keeping the strokes separate is important because, and I'm not going to follow the trees in the background exactly because it would not behoove me to just steal bullshit from people. I'm going to have this one grown over a rock. But remember, you don't want to change direction of your painting when you're painting with this watery brush. That's bad. That's a bad branch. You gotta remember branches, tree twists as it grows, which was a thing that was a real revelation to me when I was looking at reference. Like, oh, it's twisting around itself as it grows up. That's a cool notion. So I will use that in my artwork. Now remember, folks, when you're doing shading or texturizing for rendering purposes, shadows, if there is no external light source, go in the middle. You darken towards the middle. That gives it a three-dimensional look. Rim lighting and highlighting go on the back. And watch for tangents. Not just out of me. Last night's Last Drive-In was really good. They watched Little Shop of Horrors. We're very fortunate to have been able to play Audrey 2 in a production of that. I love that part. It's a good part. All right. So there we go. And I'm going to use one of the Manga Studios tools to show you some cool tools that it has. So we'll go up 2 layers. I'm going to grab that tone from the background and check this out. I think it's this here that I use for that. We're going to go vegetation. And they have vegetation brushes that are repeater brushes that, well, okay. Cool. All right. They're basically what I call repeater brushes. They just have a pattern and then they just repeat. So it's a little too bright. A little too smart. A little too smart. Husky maple leaf will work. Remember, on every layer that you do this, you're going to want to go like, and then we'll go to, I know this is going to seem weird, but we're going to go up here a little bit like this. And then we're going to go back to green, a little darker. Then you go to lighter green. And we're going to go under the canopy, the darkest color. I'm going to maintain that shape, right? Then over it, we're going to also going to do this, put shading wherever the branches touch, so it doesn't look like it's just a stick going up into a tree. Boom. Now, this is at night. So the colors on Darcy Voorhees here are a little bright. But that's okay, because I'm going to go into the blues again. Blue like this. We're going to take an emphasizing texture brush, go all the way down underneath everything, make it slightly bigger. We're going to make a background of blue all around. Well, we're going to just make streaks right now, because when I add some stuff to this, it's going to look good. Actually, do that, and then make it. The reason why I'm using blue in parts of this palette are to emphasize that it's nighttime. Like, you know, when they do blue for night, basically, it's a good cheat when you're illustrating something. When you get to the render, I call it a cheat. It's just a good shorthand for dark. And then we go above that one, create a layer. We go like this. But you're covering up your art, man. Yeah, I know. Home your ass. So that's at 100% opacity. There we go. And then I'm going to take her outline, also known as a silhouette. I'm going to take her silhouette and invert the selected area. Then we're going to, oh, that's not what I needed. I needed this. We'll lighten it up even more. There we go. I'm going to hide this and this. I'm going to merge these layers here. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. And what all this needs back here is something simple. You just go filter, Gaussian blur. So it blurs the background and brings Darcy into focus. Boom. Then up here, we're going to take that emphasizing texture brush again. I'm going to drop it down to about that size. I have a selection made or something. Oh, I'll try to drop the opacity. The old El Paso opacity. There we go. There we go. So why I'm doing this here is because the emphasizing texture brush has a very fuzzy edge. So now it does look like night. I can go up above this layer. And we'll take we'll go ahead and add moonlight to it. We'll drop that even lower opacity, put a bigger beam, so you do this. Just follow the lines that you created. And then bring up the opacity again. Change it to white. Drop the size to about half. Okay. And we're going to go to Darcy's silhouette again. Remember to select all of it. We're going to inverse. So I want these beams to be behind her, so I'm going to delete that. Actually, we'll have the one going by her legs to be behind her. Let me take my spray. I'm going to go to tone scraping. We're going to do pure white and just go. Oh, right. Pure white. Huh. Oh, okay. What are we doing here? we go. Way too big. That'll work. There we go. Dust motes, folks. You have to put those in your drawing if you're doing a beam of light. Way too many. There we go. Okay. I'm going to open something real quick. I'll sign it, and then we'll be done. I'm literally going to put my logo on it as a signature. And I'm going to do it in white. There we go. And that'll be that. That's how to draw Darcy Voorhees. I thought it would be funny. I still think it is. So thanks everybody for swinging by. Again, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about tools that I used or techniques, give me a shout down below. Yeah, so we'll see each other again soon. I'll actually be on camera later on. I still have stuff to set up here. But thanks again for watching, and yeah, don't forget to stay retro. Peace.